Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that the most gorgeous thing you ever saw?
The statue of the founder, S. Peter Pryor? That old geezer with the beard? Beautiful? Oh, you're joshing, Dobe.
No, Maynard.
I mean, he's like handsome, and he's like attractive. I mean, you could even call him something else, but I mean, but beautiful, Dobe? No, Dobe.
Maynard.
Well, still, maybe you're right. Yeah, he is beautiful. It's the beard that does it. Beards, let's face it, Dobe, beard's the prettiest thing a person can grow. True?
Maynard, I'm talking about that girl.
Girl? She ain't got no beard, Dobe.
Maynard, come on.
Hey, Dobie, wait. You promised you'd take me to the zoo and see all them lions and tigers and monkeys and cute little snakes and cute little alligators and cute little pandas and
Hey,
cute
she's leaving. Have a good time at the zoo, Maynard.
Miss! Oh, miss! Ow!
Oh, you poor boy. You poor boy. Are you all right, poor boy?
No, it's nothing, just a flesh wound.
Can I get you anything?
No, my dear, just keep stroking.
Of course, poor boy.
My name's Dobie Gillis.
Shouldn't I go for a doctor?
Gillis, Dobie Gillis, that's
Maybe
my
I
name.
could get you a cold pack.
Gillis, Dobie Gillis.
Hot cake?
What's your name?
Sally Bean, some bandages, an intimate iodine.
Sally Bean.
Isn't there anything I can do?
As a matter of fact, there is.
Just name it, poor boy.
Hey, you can have dinner with me tonight.
Of course, of course.
Oh, wonderful. What time should I pick you up?
Let's see, the other boy's coming at 7. You be there at 6:45.
The other boy?
My other dinner date.
You mean you already have a date for dinner?
I just told you. Are you sure you didn't hurt your ears?
You know, I've got 20 ears. Now, Sally, I don't quite understand. If you already have a date for dinner, why'd you accept a date with me?
Because you asked me.
I see.
Good. Now, you be there 15 minutes early so you can learn the rules.
The rule?
Yes, I explain the rules now, only I'm late for class.
I
Now,
see.
here's my address.
Girls are strange. I state this as a simple law of nature. Girls are strange. You never know what they're going to do or say next. So when Sally Bean, that's the dreamy girl I just met, when Sally Bean acted so strange, I wasn't even surprised, because that's what girls are, strange. Now, men, on the other hand, are predictable. You know just how they're going to react. Take my father, for example. I know that if I should come up to him and say, Dad, can I have $10 to take a girl out tonight? He would say,
Nope. You cannot have $10, but you can have 20.
Now, Dad, listen. Did you say I could have $20?
Make it 30.
You're kidding, of course.
I think you're mean, Herbert, teasing the boy like that.
Who's teasing? Winnie, I give you my word. As a husband and a father and a successful independent merchant, a paid-up member in good standing of the Bison Lodge, a veteran of WW2, the big one, with the good conduct medal, I meant every word I said.
Really?
You'll give the boy the $30?
Make it 40.
Dad, I don't know what to say. You go through life thinking your father's, conservative. No offense.
No offense, son, because that's what I am, a conservative, skinflint, and a miser.
So how come $40?
Well, it's an investment, son.
In what?
Well, look at it this way. All your life, you've had this crazy end to chase after pretty girls. Goodness knows where you get it. Certainly not from me.
Well, I like that.
Oh, now, Winnie, I didn't mean that the way it sounded. You know that to me, you are a very attractive woman. And why? Because I am a man with simple, down-to-earth, homespun tastes. Who is saying it all wrong, Winnie? What I mean
What you mean is I'm a mess.
Oh, you are not. And regardless, you're my mess, and I love you.
Mom, if you don't mind, could you argue later? Right now, let's stick to that $40.
$40 for what? Oh, yeah, I said that, didn't I? Yeah. $40. Well, son, ever since you were in knee pants, you've been chasing after a pretty face, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to catch one someday.
Oh, I hope so, boy. I hope so. It'd be nice to have a pretty face around here now, Winnie.
Herbert, before this winds up in the courts, why don't you just give Dobie the money and stop explaining?
No, Winnie, the boy has a right to know.
Oh, it's okay, Dad. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. Just give me the money.
Now, you just keep quiet and pay attention and listen, and where was I?
You were saying what a joy it would be to have a pretty face around you for a change.
I was not. I don't want a pretty face around me. All I want is for Dobie to get a girl just like you. And oh, Winnie, will you please go upstairs and let me straighten this out with the boy? You're scrambling my brains.
Dad means he's dazzled by the sight of your charming beauty, right, Dad?
And that's exactly what I'm saying.
Uh-huh. Go on, Herbert.
Well, These dream boats that Dobie keeps chasing after, it seems to me that they all have two things in common. A, they cost a fortune, and B, they always wind up dumping Dobie.
No, not this one, Dad. Not Sally. This time it's the real thing. This time it's forever.
It always is.
Let me tell you about Sally.
I know about Sally. She's beautiful.
Beautiful, did you say? Let me put it to you this way. Sally's the second most beautiful girl in the world.
And who's the first?
I don't know. I'm willing to admit that somewhere on this earth there may be a girl more beautiful than Sally. It's not likely, but I'll admit the possibility.
That is big of you, boy. Now tell me, are you sure that this Sally is the girl you're going to wind up with?
Dad, I'm absolutely...
Think before you talk, son, because this time I'm holding you to it.
I'm not sure I understand you, Herbert.
Well, it's very simple. Dobie always gets dumped by the girl he's courting. And when you are courting a girl, that's when it costs money. Flour and candy and rented tuxedos and dancing at the Peabody roof. This is what's breaking me. But once you've got the girl, got her hog-tied, and know that she's really yours, the courtship is over.
Now I understand. I'm not sure that I approve, but I understand.
Winnie, do you remember when you told me you'd go steady? Why, I'll bet I didn't spend over $5 on you the whole next year.
$3.50. I was keeping track.
Yeah, now, you see there, boy? It's getting the girl that costs the money, not having her. And I have made up my mind. I am financing no more of your wild goose chases. When you can come to me and say that this is the girl you really want and that you're really gonna get her, I'll bankroll the project.
Oh, Sally's the girl, Dad. I'm sure of it.
Well, make it happen this time, boy. Make it happen, because if you don't, you are winding up strolling through life hand in hand with Maynard.
I'm on my way to pick up Sally Bean for our first date. I go with a heart full of confidence. I know that was a hard bargain my father drove, but I'm not worried. Not a bit. I know I'm going to get Sally Bean for my very own. Sure, you've heard me say that before, but this time I really, truly know. How do I know? Well, if you could look in Sally's eyes the way I've looked in Sally's eyes, then you too would know that here was a girl with a great, generous, overflowing heart, with a beautiful soul, with tenderness and poetry, with love to match my own. But just to be on the safe side, I'm taking a little insurance with me. This took every penny my father gave me. But tonight's not the time to think about pennies. Tonight I'm going for broke.
Never mind, Mother, I'll get it.
Ah, my dear, you look charming tonight. Charming, did I say? Ravishing.
How do you feel, poor boy?
Oh, fine, fine.
All recovered from that spill you took this afternoon?
All recovered. Sally, my dear, how
Come meet
lovely.
my folks.
Oh, yes.
Mom, Daddy, this is Dobie Gillis, the boy I was telling you about.
How do you do?
This is the first rule, Dobie. No candy, no perfume, no jewelry, no gifts.
Won't you sit down, Dobie? Mr. Bean will explain the rules.
Oh, I'd appreciate that. Excuse me.
It's really very simple, Dobie. As you can see, Sally is a very attractive girl.
Attractive? She's at least the second most beautiful girl in the world.
Are you sure you feel all right, Dobie?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm better than fine. I'm floating.
Dobie, if you could descend for a moment.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're agreed, then, that Sally is a very pretty girl.
Yes, sir.
Sally is also a very tender-hearted girl. She's terribly disturbed by suffering of any kind.
Oh, I can't stand suffering. I mean, when I see suffering, I just want to curl up and die.
Then me too, my dear. What I believe in is kindness. Boys ought to be kind to girls, and girls ought to be kind to boys.
True. Everybody ought to be kind to everybody.
Yeah.
And not just people. I mean animals and bugs and insects and everything.
Oh, you're so right. Yes.
Once when I was a little girl, I stepped on a caterpillar. I cried for a whole week.
Oh, I understand.
You know what I hate worse in this world?
What?
DDT.
Me too. Down with DDT.
All those pretty little gnats and midges fainting and dying and suffering. Oh, it's just too terrible.
It's ghastly.
You know what I like?
What?
Automobiles.
Me Automobiles?
Sure. Before automobiles, people used to drive horses. The poor things had to work all day in the hot sun, and lots of terrible men used to beat their horses.
Hooray for automobiles. Viva Detroit.
The only time I don't like automobiles is when they run over turtles.
Sally, if you don't mind, I think, Dobie, that we've established Sally's tender heart.
Absolutely.
Yes, Dobie, Sally has a beautiful soul and a tender heart, which simply cannot abide suffering. For instance, When you fell down at school this afternoon and she saw you lying on the ground, hurt and stunned...
Dobie, you sure you feel all right?
You're perfect, my angel. Perfect.
As I was saying, when she saw you in your pitiful condition this afternoon, she would have done anything to make you feel better. If, for example, you would ask her to go steady or even to get married, it's very likely that she would have accepted.
Now he tells me.
What if you had proposed?
And what if she had accepted?
Oh, Dobie, you sure you feel all right?
Oh, fine, fine.
It wouldn't have mattered what kind of man you were. Sally would have said yes in any case, don't you see?
I'm afraid so, but what about the rules?
Well, Dobie, when Sally was old enough to start having dates, it was clear that she needed some kind of protection. I mean, we couldn't run the risk of letting some unscrupulous young man get her alone and force her into marriage by playing on her sympathies. So we sat down, Sally and her mother and I, and we drew up some rules. We agreed, all three of us, that she would never go out on dates with only one boy at a time.
Never?
Never. When Sally goes out, she always goes out with at least 2 boys, no one of whom is allowed to bring flowers or candy or perfume, or in any other way to gain any advantage over the other boy.
Safety in numbers, huh?
Precisely.
But look, how's Sally ever going to find the man she loves, namely me? I mean, with 2 guys hanging around all the time, how's she going to get to know either one of them?
But that's exactly the point. No boy can get Sally alone and whisper in her ear and work on her sympathies. Sally will be able to pick her boy completely on his merits, not because of a smooth line or a broken leg.
Dobie, the day that Sally comes home and tells us she is honestly in love with the young man because he's a good man and not just because of her tender heart, we'll gladly suspend the rules.
Now, Dobie, if you wish to withdraw from the competition, please feel free. Many boys have said no thank you when we've explained the rules to them, and you can go if you like with no hard feelings.
I'll stay. I'm not afraid of a little competition.
Good for you, Dobie, and may the best man win.
By the way, who is my competition?
Hi-ho, chaps. It is I, Chatsworth Osborne, Jr., fresh from another triumph on the polo field.
All right, so my competition's Chatsworth Osborne, Jr. So what? I'm not afraid of a good fight. I come from a long line of fighters. My mother and father have been fighting for years. So what if Chatsworth is the richest fella in town? So what if he drives a foreign sports car and wears expensive clothes? So what if he's suave and sophisticated and knows how to talk to head waiters and maitre d's and bellboys? And so what if I told you that I'm about as much competition for him as Audrey Hepburn would be for Ingmar Johansson? Boy, I'm dead.
You're too modest, Dobie-Doo. I think we're quite evenly matched.
Oh, come now.
It's true, Gillis, baby. I think Sally here is going to be dreadfully hard put to choose between us.
Oh, come now.
I do, of course, have certain tiny advantages. My wealth, for instance. The trust fund, stocks, bonds, debentures, and tax-free turnpike issues.
You own all that?
I do, my little thrush. I can't take credit for that, any more than I can take credit for the brains I inherited, which have given me one of the 2 highest IQs ever recorded in the Western Hemisphere.
Who has the other one?
Don't look at me.
Nor can I take credit for this compact, perfectly articulated body, which has made me, among other things, 3 times intercollegiate fencing champion. Touche! 2 times intercollegiate court tennis champion. 3 times intercollegiate archery champion. With the long bow, of course.
Gee, how are you in athletics, Dobie?
I can float on my back.
Droll. You must just judge us man to man.
That's very decent of you, Chatsworth.
That's hardly surprising. I won the North American Decency Trophy 4 years running.
What do you say, Dobie?
Uncle.
What?
I say uncle. I know when I'm licked. Congratulations, Chatsworth. Would you mind taking Sally home?
Oh, chin out, Gillis, baby. You can't win them all.
That I wouldn't mind. I can't win any.
Hello, Mother.
Hello, darling.
Hi-ho, compadres.
Where's Dobie?
He went home by himself.
Yes, discretion, they say, is the better part of valor.
Well, good night, Chatsworth. Thank you for a lovely evening.
You're welcome. Just one moment, my little minx. Perhaps there's something you'd like to tell me.
Like what?
Like perhaps you've come to a decision about me tonight.
Well, as a matter of fact, I have.
Well, pray tell, my dear. Tell all of us. I'm sure that your folks will be quite interested to know.
Okay. I don't want to hurt your feelings, honest, Chatsworth, but I'm not going to see you anymore.
Surely you jest.
No, Chatsworth. I have a real soft heart, and I get all misty whenever I find anyone to feel sorry for. But let's face it, Chatsworth, you've got nothing in the world for me to feel sorry for.
Gad, can you possibly mean that you prefer that low-born Dobie Gillis to me?
Yes, Chatsworth.
How unspeakably ignominious.
You hurt, Chatsworth.
An Osborne hurt? Ho, 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 ho. My dear young woman, we did not become movers and shakers by wearing our hearts on our sleeves.
That's nice.
Good night.
I'll be seeing you.
No, my child, you will not be seeing me. This is goodbye, farewell, adios, sayonara, and out.
He's not mad.
Sally, about this Dobie Gillis. Do I understand you correctly? You're really fond of him?
Oh, yes, Daddy. I felt so sorry for Dobie next to Chatsworth.
I feel sorry for a Sherman tank next to Chatsworth.
Yes, we know you're sorry for Dobie, darling. The point is, are you honestly and genuinely fond of him?
I think so.
Oh, honey, we want you to be sure that you're sure. Now try another date with him, with somebody else along.
Well, if you think so.
We think so.
Good morning, Dobie. Did you have your breakfast all right?
I wasn't hungry.
What's the matter with you, son? You look like cat meat.
Are you getting enough sleep, Dobie?
We got enough last night. It could have been later than 9:30 when he came in.
9:30. Didn't you have a good time, dear?
Well, if you want to know, I had a terrible time, a rotten, awful time.
Didn't get the girl, huh?
No.
Spend the money?
Yes.
All of it?
Every cent.
Winnie, you are a witness. You heard this boy promise that this was the girl he was going to get and that he would never ask me for another penny. And you heard me promise that he would never get another penny. And this is one promise I'm going to keep.
Relax, Dad. I'm not asking for any more money.
You're darn tootin' you're not, because why ain't you asking for any more money?
Because money doesn't do any good with this girl. She doesn't accept gifts or go to fancy places or anything like that.
You found a girl who won't spend money?
Yes.
And you are letting her go?
What else can I do?
Oh, clasp her to your bosom, son, with hoops of steel. A girl who won't spend money. Oh, hang on to her, boy. Hang on to her. This is a television first.
Dad, I'd like to hang on to her, but there's a little competition.
And since when has a Gillis been afraid of competition?
Dad, it's Chatsworth Osborne, Jr.
I don't care if it's Captain Jinks of the Horse Marines. You get in there and fight, boy. After all, you are Herbert T. Gillis's son.
And Winifred Gillis's daughter.
Winners never quit and quitters never win.
And the races to the swift.
And a man who won't be beat can't be beat.
And faint heart ne'er won fair maiden.
You're right, Mom. You're right, Dad. I'm going back there and fight.
That's my Dobie.
Yeah, and win, boy. And win. And you know why?
Why?
No more money.
Okay, bring him on. I'm ready for Chatsworth Osborne, Jr. or anybody else who wants to do battle for Sally Bean. A fella like me goes through life looking for the one girl. And when he finds her, he's not going to give her up without a fight. I'll fight with bare fists or swords or pistols or BBs. But I'll fight as long as I live. If necessary, even longer.
Hey, Dobe, where you been? Boy, have I got some things to tell you.
Maynard, some other time. I've got to find Chatsworth right now.
Oh, but I gotta tell you about yesterday. Man, you should have been there. You know where I was?
You were at the zoo and goodbye.
Oh, that was earlier. Afterwards, I went down to Fifth and Main and watched them knock down the old Endicott building.
Tell me about it in class, will you, Maynard?
Dude, they got this big crane and the iron ball hanging. The guy goes...
Are you through, Maynard?
Got one more.
That's it?
Just a little crunch. It won't take long.
Now are you through?
Yeah, now I'm through.
I'm glad. Goodbye, Maynard.
Where you going?
To look for Chatsworth.
Something you wanted, Gillis, baby?
You're darn right there is. I want you to know that a quitter never wins and a winner never quit and faint heart never won fair maiden. And when you take Sally Bean out tonight, I'm going to be right there with you because I'm in this fight to the finish.
Well, gung-ho, Gillis, baby. But for your information, I am not taking Sally Bean out tonight.
No? Who is?
I haven't the foggiest. But it isn't I, not tonight or any other night. I have better fish to fry.
He's right, though. I mean, I hate to stick up for old stuck-up Chatsworth, but a guy's a lot better off frying fish than running around after chicks.
Why, I'm thinking.
About what?
About the rules governing the dating of Miss Sally Bean. Now, the rules say that Sally's got to go out with two guys at once, so one of them can't get her alone and whisper sweet nothings in her ear, right?
Yeah.
Maynard, what are you doing tonight?
Oh, no, not me, Dobe. Please, Dobe, I don't dig chicks. Don't make me go out with a chick.
Maynard, you've got to.
Dobe, I stick my arm into the fire for you. Both arms, both legs, my beard. But chicks, Dobe, please, Dobe, no, Dobe.
Maynard, I'm shocked. After all the things I've done for you, who's been your best friend ever since we were little tiny babies together?
You don't.
That's right. And who taught you how to tie your shoes?
You
And who taught you how to dial the telephone?
You
And who taught you how to...
That's about all I know how to do, Dobe.
Well, you wouldn't have known that much if it hadn't been for me. And now when I ask you one little favor, how do you repay me?
You're right, Dobe. I'm a no-good rat. I'll go out with you tonight.
Oh, that's my good buddy. Yeah.
But as soon as we get her out of the house, I can cut and run. Promise?
I promise. You heard that. I promised Maynard he could cut and run as soon as we got Sally away from the house. The trouble is, Maynard didn't promise me. So what happened? 11 o'clock came and...
Tell me again about the 3 bunny rabbits you used to have.
Oh, they were so darling, all round and fluffy and white.
With long ears and noses that went like this.
Yes, and little stumpy cottontails. In fact, that's what I called one of them, Cottontail. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail.
Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail? I have 3 cousins named that. Whacker, buddy. Now, did you get the guppies before or after the rabbits?
After. Daddy got them for me when the rabbits died. Oh, I cried so.
Oh, I'm crying now.
Me too.
Well, anyhow, I soon grew to love my guppies. All 40 of them.
What were their names?
Well, there was Joe, Mo, and Flo, Fred, Ed, and Ned, Arthur, Alice, and Morris.
Sally, it's 11 o'clock.
Quiet, Dope. She's only got 32 more.
Sally, your folks must be expecting you.
I'm afraid so. Gee, Maynard, I hate to break this up. I haven't had so much fun in years.
Me neither. Hey, Sally, why don't you call home and ask if you can stay a little while longer, just till you tell me the name of the guppies and all the bees you used to keep.
I'll call. Excuse me.
Maynard, I can't find words for you.
Well, I can find plenty for you, like louse, rat, skunk, and cheat.
What are you talking about? You said you were going to cut and run as soon as we got Sally away from home.
Shame on you, Dobe. I mean, thinking of a fiendish trick like that to play on poor Sally. You know the rules. Shame on you. Trying to get that poor, dear, innocent little chick to yourself so you can whisper sweet nothings in her ear. Shame on you.
Maynard, I don't understand. You hate chicks.
Dobe, a chick who digs bunnies and caterpillars and ants and lizards and dogs and cats and lions and tigers. Dobe, that ain't a chick. That's like a real human being.
So you're not going to leave me alone with her?
Dobe, on account of our long friendship and your many good qualities, I'm going to try to overlook the rotten, crummy trick you try to pull tonight. But don't press me too far.
Great news, Maynard. Daddy says I can stay another half hour.
Oh, for joy.
Now, where was I?
You were telling me about the guppies. So far you had Ed, Ned, Fred, Joe, Mo, Flo, Arthur, Alice, Morris, Phyllis.
Yes. Then there was Willie and Billy and Joel and Noah and Kate and Nate and Harry and Mary and Lonnie and Connie and... What?
I said uncle. Again, I said uncle.
Strange boy.
Weird. Please continue.
Well, then there was Jackie and Johnny and Jimmy, and Earl and Merle and Pearl, and Lisa.
Did you have your breakfast, dear?
I wasn't hungry.
Hey, you look worse than yesterday. Strike on again?
That's it.
Now, Herbert, don't be hard on the boy.
Oh, I am not going to be hard on him, Winnie. After all, he tried, and that's what counts. You did the best you could, son, and I am proud of you.
And I am proud of you, Herbert.
Well, thank you very much, Winnie. Son, I know that I growl and grumble a lot, but underneath this rough exterior, I'm not such a bad guy. Listen, you just forget all I said about no more money. Here. Go out and get yourself another girl.
Oh, gee, Dad, you're all heart. I'm sorry I couldn't have won this one for you.
You tried, Dobie, and that's what matters.
Certainly, and after all, there's no disgrace to losing to a guy like Chatsworth Osborne Jr. with all his loot and brains and trophies and stuff like that.
Well, I didn't exactly lose her to Chatsworth Osborne Jr.
Oh, some football player, huh, with a big neck and stuff like that?
Well, not exactly.
Well, exactly who did you lose her to?
Dobe, Sally Bean and me are like engaged. I ran right over to tell you. Look, she gave me a ring.
You lost to... and stuff like that?
Dobe?
Maynard, go away.
I know you think I'm an Arnold Benedict,
That's
but...
Benedict Arnold, but you got the right idea.
But I want to be buddies again, Dobe. I mean, I don't want to be with no chick. I want to be with you.
So Sally Bean dumped you, huh?
No, I dumped her.
For what?
Oh, she did a terrible thing, Dobe, a terrible thing.
What?
I'd rather not say.
Oh, you can tell me.
Well, she kissed me. Yeah, they're all alike, Dobe. I should have known. They're all alike.
No, Maynard.
Well, what's the difference? We still got each other.
Yes, Maynard.
And we always will.
I'm afraid so, Maynard. I'm afraid so.
Hey, Dobe, did I tell you about the Endicott building? The big
About
crane and the iron
1,000
ball?
times.
And the guy goes...